Past Charlie here to tell you about a few of our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds is our virtual tabletop of choice, providing us access to roles, tokens, maps, and more. You can try it today for free at fantasygrounds.com. While you're there, why not check out Fantasy Grounds Unity? World Anvil is a remarkable resource, whether you're a writer, GM, or player, organizing your campaign notes or building an entire world. Get forging today for free at worldanvil.com. And before we get into today's game, we'd like to shout out our friends at Andrews McMeel Publishing, who published the wonderful game Zweihander. If you haven't checked that out, you can catch it here on Wednesdays. We'd also like to mention Modifius, who manage and produce a wide range of RPGs. Whether you feel like being Dishonored, exploring a tale from the loop, or boldly going with Star Trek adventures, why not check out modifius.com.
Doc, when you're ready.
Oh, we're live. Hey, hi. How's it going, everyone? How's it going, everyone? I am the Doctor, Dr. RPG here. Hello, welcome to my show, our show, Susie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I should. I'm totally ready for this. I'm always prepared. That's why you're here.
Just the most professional. My money has been well spent.
Of course. And speaking of, you'll notice that things are going to be a little bit more fancy. We still have a little bit of a problem with the bats and the neighbors. But other than that, this is becoming a well-oiled machine. For the most part. but anyway, of course, the bats add ambiance, I tell you, and that's exactly what we're going for. We're going for a moody, supportive. Anyway, so hello and welcome to the show. There are a few beats that I want to make sure that we hit in case you missed our very first episode. I am Dr. RPG. I help fellow adventurers like you out there who may be hearing this through a Sending Stone or through, the Mind Flayer forcing its way inside your mind. I'm here to help you figure out how to be the very best adventurer that you can be. But there are a few caveats. There are going to be things that you hear in this show that may not exist in your world just yet. You see, we have access to different planes and different time streams, so there may be mentions of spaceships, and you might be from a land that doesn't quite have spaceships yet. That's fine. Don't worry about it, and don't try to take any of the information you learn here and manipulate your world. It won't work. Time is smarter than you. That said, I think that we should mention some of our sponsors. What do you say, Susie?
I think sponsors are a wonderful idea. After all, sponsors are what keeps our lovely brand new neon sign on.
It's
do you
so
see it
shiny.
right there? Wonderful. Great.
So I would like to thank our sponsor, the blacksmith, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Some might see them as a bit of a subpar supplier of weapons and goods, but if you really take a step back and see what they're about again, you might find that it still holds up. Their goods and their wares, not the best, but still pretty solid. I would say some of Angie and Brad Smith's best work come from Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So definitely give them a look. Very solid, still holds up, and much better than salt. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's discuss something that happened last week. Last week, we had a guest here that wasn't planned. But this time, I actually have a planned guest, and I have the method to bring them here. You see, I want to make sure that everything runs smoothly here. And that includes making sure that I bring the finest people available. So I've been studying very hard to make sure that I pull out a portal at the exact proper time in the exact proper location to pull an adventurer that's going to be able to give you the very best advice that you could ask for. So, I'm
Just a quick question, Doc. In your
yes.
testing of this new technique, you have tested it, right?
I I've gone through the fundamentals. I mean, really, 90% of any spell work is the paperwork, and then the other 10% is. So we're gonna try it and then figure and then make this happen. I have
I'm
it, Sydney.
I'm going to take your panic flustering as a yes, because you would never,
I
ever, ever put this show in jeopardy, would you?
Of course not, Susie. Of course not. I
Good.
brought you on. You're only the best, and I'm only the best. So I'm just going to start working on this portal. Oh, okay, okay, all right. That I didn't mean for that to happen, but that's all right. That's
I'll see you next Tuesday, Philip.
Hi.
Doc?
Well,
There, look at that. First time, nailed it.
I told you, no problems at all. Hello, and
Sorry.
uh, no need to be sorry. I welcome to Doctor RPG.
You misunderstand. I'm not sorry. I meant sorry, like, excuse me, why? Why?
Why? Oh, right.
What?
Yes, you are on a multi-dimensional support and advice show where we help adventurers answer some of the harder questions involved with the life of adventuring, which I've seen that you do through various scrying. Nothing to worry about.
Yes, Dr. RPG, quite familiar. I often recommend you to people who won't stop bothering me when I'm trying to work.
It's always nice to meet a fan.
Yes. I wasn't aware that all your guests were summoned.
Well, yes. I mean, I thought that I sent out a notice. I may have sent it to the wrong version of you. So that's not a mistake, Susie. That wasn't a mistake. It was temporal oversight.
Well, all right. To be fair, that's not the first time that's happened. So I guess, like, fine.
See, and that's exactly
Excuse me
why
here,
I
just
had
one
it on.
second. Producer Susie
Yes.
here. Are you willing to sign a written statement to that effect that you will not take any further action and that anything may cause of this any side effects, including things such as brain leakage, are not the fault of Dr. RPG and or its staff incorporated TM.
I won't sign it, but like, I'll pretend to sign it later and, it'll be interesting. We could keep it fresh.
We'll workshop it, yes.
Yeah.
That's honest lying, and that's the kind of thing that is unique to someone of Shindri's abilities. Speaking of, why don't you tell the lovely people who are listening, whether they want to or not, exactly what you're able to do and what advice that you feel that you're able to give the adventurers of the multiverse?
Was a traveler for quite a long time, retired because got sick of the nonsense. Nonsense has not stopped. As you can see, I have been
I can only
transported
imagine.
to a demon portal. But primarily, I bartend, as you would call it. I serve drinks, sing songs, get people to talk about things until I'm sick of it, and then I tell them to stop, or I make them stop, depending.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And how would you go about making someone stop talking to you if they continuously talk to you, even if you didn't want them to talk to you? I mean, I can only imagine.
No, I mean, it's nothing like that. I just, I play a little tune, and they usually just calm right down.
Wonderful. There is something to be said for the power of music. It's very soothing, relaxing, and healing. Um, and with that, I think that we can start to take a step back and really appreciate all the various magics that are out there, including, if you don't mind too terribly, the magic of our second sponsor. What do you say? Would you all mind too
Sorry,
terribly?
Doc, just before we do move to that sponsor, I just want to be aware that there has been a £10 donation here in chat from JT Rex2249. Thank you very much.
That name seems very suspicious. What's the 2249 about?
Apparently, according to my show notes here, it's a secret code.
There's something deeper here. There's a conspiracy. I know a conspiracy when I see it. 2249.
Trust that. Trust that instinct.
Yes, I may have to summon this 2249 to our show and get answers. There's some malevolence here. How many pounds did this 2249 donate?
10 entire British pounds, from what I gather.
10 pounds, 2249. Yes, there's something here. Something sinister.
Yes,
anyway,
never trust
to our
people who
sponsors.
pay you. I've learned that.
I mean, you wouldn't know that being a bartender. I mean, truly.
It's
truly,
true. It's true. I always trust the man who tries to get the beer for free more than the one who pays for it and then asks questions. I'm like, what do you want? You know.
One moment. Susie, is this that sarcasm?
Unclear.
I am too. She's
Yeah.
good. All right.
She's very good.
I could suss this out. So, Shingri.
Yeah.
I would like a beer from you for free.
Well, I'd love to. And should you ever find yourself in a lower coastal region, I would have you stop by the Loaded Pistol. If you do stop by the Loaded Pistol, I will get you a drink for free and we will go from there. But as of right now, I have no drink. I had one on the table that was somewhere around here, but as discussed, I was moved recently away from that table.
That's fair. Susie, I learned nothing.
She's like
you're a clever
a
one.
brick
Shingri.
wall, impenetrable. This is incredible.
She's
I
a
think-
labyrinth inside an enigma, inside a puzzle. We'll figure you out.
Just one more interruption before we do get to that sponsor. Actually, two
Is this
more
that
interruptions.
Okay.
Sorry, we have £15 by the wonderful cleric of court, and a whole £10 by a what is this? Charlie, some Charlie figure. Not sure who they are.
It's a good name. It's a good, strong name.
I wonder if they're agents of 2249.
Well, from what I gather, that Charlie is an agent of something, most likely chaos.
I can see that, you know. I mean, really, the most devastating things in history have been named Charlie.
Incredibly so. In fact, I think this Charlie may indeed be a Smith, but I just would like to reiterate for our lovely listeners today that any and all donations for the show today go to the wonderful Black Girls Code, which is a fantastic charity, which we highly recommend that you support and donate to. Thank you. Anyway, back at it, Doc.
Right, of course. Let's give some credit where credit is due. And let's take a moment to appreciate the wonderful sponsor that assisted us in getting this fancy new neon sign and some of the components necessary to summon the wonderful but enigmatic Shingri here. I would like to...
Oh, yes. Let's thank them.
What do you know? Anyway, I would like to thank the Hunter's Mark, an archery store which is filled to the brim with exciting and useful options, but can often be forgot by many of the people who would find it an incredibly useful resource for all sorts of weaponry. So please, if you do see the Hunter's Mark, make sure that you use them constantly and you don't forget about them. It's very key to your success in archery. The hunter's mark. For the love of God, do not forget it. Use them, use them, use them.
It's
I
good.
mean, and they
Yeah,
can
it's
also
good
help
advice.
you find things for 8 hours if you spend a lot of money there. So just please, the hunter's mark, use it. Thank you. So with that, I think we should move on to the bread and butter of our show here. I think we're really going to put your intellect and your skill and your charm and your guile and your puzzling ways, Shingri, to the test. Now,
Great.
we're going to advise a few adventures. What do you say?
You know what? Yeah. Yeah. Bring them on.
So I'm personally very excited for this segment with our new little budget boost. We've invested in some new technologies where we actually get call-ins from a set few adventurers today. Now, these may vary in quality. They're not hugely vetted. I only have so much time in the day, but I am very, very excited for us to hear the delectable, delicious, delightful tones, dulcet tones even, of our fans and listeners. What do you say, Doc?
I think that we need to cue that up and listen to them right away. I'm sure that my fans have nothing but the most intricate and puzzling questions that need the most keen minds of the multiverse to solve.
No doubt.
Stupid git. Oh, did I get the voice message? Fucking hell. This is Dung, and I'm at a payphone outside this trade post. Me and Spunk, that's my scout mate. Anyway, me and Spunk went to go stomp on these uppity kobolds making noise all night, and Spunk goes and steps on one of the fat small ones. Now his feet smell like someone pissed on eggs and left it under his toenails to rot. But I can't say nothing 'cause he's the chieftain's nephew. I was hoping to speak with the doctor and have him tell me how I can tell him to wash his dirty feet. Without pissing him off. 'Cause if he gets sour and tells his uncle, the chief will rip my head off and use my skull as a chamber pot. Here comes the half-wit now. I have to go. I'll be listening for your response, Doctor. And if I don't get a good answer, I'm coming for you.
Well, that was certainly delightfully evocative. I think we'll go forward that one. I leave the floor to you, Doc and Guest.
Questions that require the most keen minds of the multiverse. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, caller, for that question. I never considered that people would want to attack me if I gave bad advice.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, stinky feet. It's a problem that's more common than you think in the adventuring world, you know? And also dealing with nepotism is a problem that pervades all areas of life, from the profession of adventuring to more corporate endeavors. So you are dealing with a rather tricky situation, as you can't clean this person's feet yourself, and you can't be too aggressive with how you go about asking them to clean their feet. Shintri, do you have any advice?
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, you could clean his feet. I mean, hypothetically, but I wouldn't recommend going that route. I would normally say that if he doesn't want to clean his feet, you have to find some reason to make him want to clean his feet. And, in my experience, particular motivations are money, which I don't recommend, because once you do that once, it's like, then they just...
He's going to get his feet dirty on purpose.
Exactly. It's the whole thing. But say if he's no longer allowed in his favorite pub until his feet are clean, or if, the favored lass or lad that he might have his eyes on maybe says a little something to him about the stench. That's common. That shouldn't really take much convincing either. Most people not a fan of dirty feet from what I've come across. I don't know, just spitballing here.
Or a well-placed lie. Lies are good. Lies get people far sometimes. For example, if you tell him that his stinky feet will make him terrible in combat, as long as you are decent with the gift of that, which from hearing that call, that wouldn't work. Never mind. Don't listen to that. Okay. There's also how about you challenge him to a duel, one-on-one. It's an honorable means of resolving conflict in warrior nations.
Yes, but it sounds like he's got a powerful dad, and if he loses the combat, he's gonna be like, Dad, I lost. And dads, they're gonna be like, oh, no son of mine loses, and then the next thing you know, you're fighting the big boss. I don't recommend that either. What do you got? What do you got? Well, what about trying to, maybe set up a little adventure? Maybe you have to go into a ruin together and you need a partner, right? And he's going to feel really great that you asked him to come along because, he's just this guy with stinky feet. Like, whoever is asking him to come on adventures. Now he wants to be your friend. Now he wants to go into this dungeon with you. And maybe you get there ahead of time. You set up a little fake little trap to get the door to open. You got to stick your feet in a big old bucket of water.
I like where this
And then whoosh, door goes up.
Oh.
And now he's a hero. And he's got clean feet. And you've made a new friend.
See, and this is why we brought you on, because you know how to work with complicated people. And this is a complicated person in a complicated situation, and your keen mind is exactly what we need. I mean, personally, if I were you, I would simply cast a basic cleaning spell and not have to worry about it. But you don't have those abilities. Or maybe you do. I shouldn't judge your abilities by how you sound. So that's my advice to you. Cast a basic cleaning spell. Or trick them into a dungeon that requires feet washing. We're doing good.
They're
work
more
here.
common than you think.
I've ended up in a couple myself. There was one dungeon. It was, I believe it was called PAX, that required you to get deodorant on before you walked in. It was a whole thing.
Sounds like a good dungeon to me.
I appreciated it, and I think everybody else did as well. So I think that is one person health. Look at that. This is nothing. So what do you think, Susie? Any last second advice for our friend?
Well, back in my adventuring days, I was in a certain unnamed demiplane of dread, and I was traveling with a companion, Vladislaus, who had a very similar problem, but wasn't so much dirty feet, as in he never cleaned his extended talons. And he wouldn't listen to anybody. He was disgusting. He smelled. It was ruining the whole aesthetic, honestly. It was a beautiful Gothic, Baroque kind of palace, and then you've got that to your left. It's vile. Basically what happened is we all picked him up and threw him in the sea. Now, unfortunately for Vladislaus, he was undead, so running water was extremely painful to him. He didn't make the mistake again, though. So if they're undead, throw them in the sea. That's my 10 cents.
It's very direct.
Yeah, I think that will work even for some living.
Yes, perhaps.
All right. Well, that's 3 separate but wonderful piece of advice for you, my friend. Either trick them into a cleaning dungeon, cast a basic cleaning spell, or throw them into the sea. I mean, we give you options here at Dr. RPG.
I bet if we really put our minds to it, we could answer every question with those 3 options.
You know what? Why don't we take a listen to the next question and immediately apply those pieces of advice, and
Yeah,
let's
I
see
feel
if
like
it sticks.
I feel like it could work.
Okay.
Hey, hey, Dr. D&D. I got a bit of a problem here, and was looking for your help. Oh yeah, my name's Marco, Marco D'Artavian. I'm a pilot on a spaceship full of cats, and so like I just killed a guy. Okay, like I just killed a guy. Well, actually, two guys actually. And you know that kind of freaks me out. You see, I'm not really what you'd call like a crack shot, but I was on this planet with my friends, like doing some stuff, and like this pirate prick with a carbine steps up to my homeboy Fahar, and like shit, man, like I don't know, something just came over me, and I just shot him right in his stupid fucking throat, you know, like jugular shot, man, boom, just toasted right there, and then this other asshole shoots at me, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to do this. I don't want to shoot you. But he kept coming at me, and yeah, I shot his ass too. Well, not literally his ass. I mean, I shot him in the gut, but like, you know, I shot him, and then both of these guys just hit the deck and they just bled out and died. You know, and I asked my friend Dahlia about it, and she was like, "It was you or him, Marco. You done good, kid." And I was like, "I don't know. I don't feel good. I don't feel that good right now because like killing people doesn't feel good." But she was like, "Nah, it's fine. You were fine." And I was like, Anyway, sorry. I kind of lost my train of thought there. Anyway, so yeah, to my question. Do you know how to get the smell of cat pee out of a stasis pod? Because I'm like really having trouble with that. Like no matter what I do, like those stasis pods just reek of cat pee, and I'm wondering if there's like an herbal remedy or something, you know? Or anyway, yeah, call me back. Yeah, call me back. Bye.
Yeah, I think it works.
Yeah.
I mean, are you okay? It sounds like it sounds like it was him or the other guy, you know?
Right. Just, you know, it's always hard hearing the first time somebody has that part of their soul removed from them.
Honestly, it sounded
right.
like he called to brag, to be honest. I mean, I didn't call a talk show when I killed my first 3 people, but...
I mean,
but sorry, just to interrupt...
6.
Look, the record was it was made to go anyway. So, just to briefly interrupt here before we get into our answers, we have another donation for £10 by cats. Oh God,
Cats?
they left the ship.
I think we should be very careful about our answer.
Yeah, I think they're watching.
I think we're being bribed not to remove the cat smell.
I would advise that you make sure that you have permission from the cats to make any changes to the stasis pod, because it's their pod now.
Or you could throw the whole stasis pod into the sea.
Or
right?
you could trick the stasis pod into going into a dungeon that requires the stasis pod to put its feet into water.
Yeah. Or just cast a basic cleaning spell.
You know what? I think
Those are
we've
the
solved
3
this show.
answers to all of life's problems.
Yeah. I mean, really, if you think about it, most of your problems can be solved by throwing it into the ocean. I mean, relationship problems, your boyfriend's getting out of hand, throw them into the ocean. You know,
into the sea. Just into the sea.
Your horse isn't giddying up like it used to, throw it into the sea.
After it has naturally passed away from natural causes.
Of course.
But boyfriends, you don't have to wait. You just
just throw the whole matter into the ocean. It's fine.
Overboard. Yeah.
By the way, men, buy a light vest. No, I'm just kidding.
Markham may want to invest in an extra stasis pod or an escape pod, as it seems like the cats are perhaps sentient and they are definitely plotting. If I know cats.
Yes.
I mean, the real question
is, and they have money,
it
seems.
I was just about to ask, how did the cats get money and access to... I don't recall sending this broadcast to cats.
Cats find a way.
Cats find a way. Maybe, I mean, I don't think are there tabaxi in space? Anyway, so we have your solutions.
Yeah.
Throw the stasis pod into the sea.
Yeah. Cast a cleaning spell.
Or trick them into the elaborate cleaning dungeon.
You know, and this really makes me think there is a wonderful opportunity for someone to open up dungeons with the specific purpose of tricking people into being cleaned.
Themed dungeons, you say?
Yeah.
Could charge like per commission.
Yeah, they just walk through a dungeon. There's like scary lights and
it's like
brushes
whatever you need.
Yeah, I think we're onto something here.
Yeah.
I feel like people would pay good money to walk through a dark space with lights flashed at them and spooky things to drop out at them, maybe? Is there a market there?
And with like the explicit intention of scaring one particular friend. I think that that's something that people would like to do. Yeah.
I mean, every adventuring party has that chicken, right? The one that's always a little bit anxious to get into the combat, a little bit apprehensive about delving into a dungeon.
Yeah.
Like baby's first dungeon. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to slap a big TM on that idea. That belongs to Dr. RPG now. TM. You cannot. Nobody. The TM sign has been invoked. It is ours. Thank you.
And if you try to take it, Susie will find you. And as we all know, I mean, Susie is a wonderful negotiator and generally ends problems effectively and quickly and in ways that I in no way know the details of.
For legal reasons. Anyway, shall we move swiftly on to avoiding... yes, anyway. So let's do some writing questions. I believe
Absolutely.
we have... Okay. Dear Mr. Doctor, I am 13 and I just recently became a duke. I've been told this means I need to start collecting taxes. The problem is, I don't know what taxes are or where to find them. Do you know what taxes are, Princess Duke?
Oh, no. Okay, we have a very special opportunity here. Nobody mess this up. Okay. You don't want to collect taxes. Taxes are poisonous. And as soon as you touch one, even with gloves on, you will burst into flames. Don't collect taxes. Instead, throw away any money that came from taxes. Just throw it out into the yard. Throw it out into the front yard so that it doesn't get any of the fiery explosive residue on you. It can only hurt people with royal titles. The common folk, if you see them going to pick it up, don't stop them. Just let them take it. They'll take it far away from you. They're trained to do this. From a young age, anyone not born into royal blood is taught, if you see taxes near the royals, protect them, grab it, run away, take it away forever. Taxes are very, very volatile to royals, even dukes. So you just got to stay away, get it all out, protect yourself, stay safe.
I completely agree. I don't often tell the dark secrets, but in this one instance, I will break that code and tell you
Mhm.
all about taxes. You see, taxes are a form of the darkest magic created by the wizard IRS,
Mhm.
name from the deep tongue.
Mhm.
It's a spell that breaks the common folks back. It's akin to necromancy in that it makes you feel dead inside. Taxes, they're everywhere and nowhere. And once you introduce them into a society, slowly but surely it corrupts and corrodes until all that's left are broken
Is
men.
on fire.
Everything is on fire.
On
It is
fire. Fiery poison.
it is part of the school of magic known as capitalism. It is a
Mhm.
truly dark and devious thing. So stay away, little Duke. Stay
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. Stay safe. Stay safe. Oh, praying for you. Praying for you.
It's wonderful advice. Wonderful advice.
I
I
think we
think-
did, or just throw taxes into
Throw
the
it in the
Throw it in
ocean.
the
Yeah,
sea.
you could throw it in the sea. That's also an option. You could throw it in the sea.
On the plus side, if you do throw it in the sea, there's no risk of immolation to your immediate self, your dukeness, if that's your correct
True.
title.
True.
But the common folk, again, trained to swim, trained to gather these taxes, and you protect them too by throwing it in the ocean. So there you go. Problem
Yeah,
solved.
there you go. See?
Or put it in elaborate dungeon buckets.
Yeah.
meant to clean them, but some
Tragically,
things
for
are
this one, the
forever
cleaning spell
unclean.
won't work.
Yes.
It won't. It'll backfire.
In
Yes.
fact, makes it much worse. Cleaning
Mhm.
money, morally and legally reprehensible.
Yes.
Leads
So-
to great TV shows, though. Anyway,
So I've heard. Next question. Dear
Yes.
Dr. RPG, I'm a barbarian with a background in a criminal organization. Which gods have I angered that I have to act as the brains and consciousness of my current adventuring party? Sincerely, Durigar Rockfall.
well, Rockfall, I would just like to say that kudos to you for being the brains of the party and the brawn as the barbarian. That's a lot to hold on to. Often, a lot of times, when one person in the party feels that they have to be more responsible than the other, it feels like a curse from a god. And I can share you that it's not. It's most likely just proximity that's led you into this tragic situation of being partnered with people that aren't quite carrying their weight. So I'll say this to you, my barbaric friend: you are more hardy and stronger, and in this case, smarter than them. So, I mean,
Or it's Kellamvor. He's kind of a prick.
yeah, California's.
Yeah. If you like
Well, I
kill
dinner with him
someone
once.
and you don't say you're sorry, and then he's like, "God, it makes me so mad," and then he just, he does something prickish. I don't know. Give him time. He gets over it.
Yeah. I had dinner with him once. Awful tipper.
Ah, ironic.
Tell you. And of course, there is always the default options that you can go for. If your party isn't listening to you, and you
Throw them
have
in the
good
sea.
exactly.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
won't it may not change the situation, but it is such a dominant show of force that I believe that they should change their ways, or you may catch yourself on the ass end of a fireball. So, what are you gonna do? Susie, any insight? Have you had to deal with a party that makes you feel cursed by God?
Constantly. In my personal life and my professional life. But luckily for me, I'm never held as the group's moral compass, which is probably for the best, if we're being honest.
Wonderfully. Wait. Your personal and professional.
Huh? Wait,
Huh?
so should we move on to the next question? Shall we? I think we covered that one. Also, again, same advice applies. Take them into a scary custom-built dungeon to show them the areas of their ways, throw them in the sea, or just cleanse them with a cleaning spell, which is also code for big fucking fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very effective.
It's super effective, some would say.
Mhm.
All right. Okay. Next question we have. Dear Dr. RPG, my adventuring party picked up this wizard a while back, and while she's been very helpful in battle, I'm a little concerned by some of her actions. Specifically, she keeps reanimating dead animals that we come across in the woods and keeping them as pets. Oh. She has a whole roadkill menagerie following her around now. When I asked her why she keeps doing this, she called it proof of concept. Should our party be worried that we've picked up a budding necromancer? Sincerely, Killian Rakella, prize fighter, retired.
I'm not
Yeah.
seeing the problem.
It sounds like you have a budding necromancer, and this should be celebrated, not you shouldn't shame them. There are many tomes out there that you can get that can support her on her journey of fully embracing her inner necromancy. I personally recommend Everybody Reanimates. It's a great beginner book that really helps people understand that, some things die, and that's annoying, and sometimes you don't want that to happen, so you bring them back. I mean, really, is there any difference of taking somebody to a holy temple of Pellar and bringing them back to life, or is that really any different than seeing roadkill and going, hey, that could be a friend? I don't think so. I think it's all publicity. I think some gods and some magic spells have much better management than others. So you know what? You support that wizard. You go ahead and you find little dead critter corpses and you bring them as gifts, and you give her new friends and you celebrate it.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? You're just like walking down. Who would mess with you? Who would mess with you? You're just walking down the path, followed by a parade of little roadkills. Amazing. I wouldn't mess with them. It'd be great.
Personally, I have faced down demons and devils, and I can tell you, hands down, the scariest thing I've ever faced was a very alive, very small raccoon. He took some rations from me, and I was very hungry. I wanted them back, but he wanted them more.
No, you got it. A raccoon wants your food. It's gonna have it one way or the other.
Give it to him.
You just gotta give it to the raccoon. Mm-hmm.
He made a fist and did this at me.
If anything, this is an excellent add-on to your point here, Doc. A undead pet is better than an alive pet, surely. It doesn't need to eat. It doesn't need water. Doesn't need to breathe. You can put it in a pocket. You don't have to feed it your rations. It's not a drain on the party's resources. You can throw it in the sea when it's stinky.
And it's fine. It won't even notice.
You don't even have to do the elaborate dungeon trap for this one. You don't even have to cast a cleaning spell on it. The sea cleanses all.
In fact, I know that you sent in the question, my friend, but I say you go into the sea. You need to support your necromancer friend. Open your mind.
I agree.
And if the sea doesn't treat you very well, you have a necromancer friend. So
there you go.
Exactly.
It'll be fine.
If anything, a necromancer in the party. Undead sharks. Imagine. Now, Doc, I know we've talked about moving this to a more marine setting. Oh, the music again.
What is this?
Excuse me one moment. Come in.
Hi. Excuse me. Is this Tommy's private suit? He invited me back after the club. I'm a little bit early, but are you Tommy's assistant? Where's Tommy?
Okay. Tammy isn't here. Do you want me to? Hold on one moment. Just one. Hold on.
But he told me to wait for him.
I'll be right back. I'll take you to him. Don't worry. I'll be just 1 second.
That's so nice of you. I really like your cart. What are you doing with that? Oh my God.
She's really good at it.
Oh my God. What are you doing with?
She's a wonderful negotiator. She has a way with people.
That was an ice cream scoop.
It was. She's
That's
probably going to give her some
inspiring.
ice cream. Share some butter pecan, and then see her on her way to Tommy or whatever such. Oh, so good, right?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That's a problem dealt with. Our good friend is now on her way to her chosen deity.
Tommy,
Sorry. Yes.
yes. I do believe that there is time for one more question, and then
Excellent, excellent. One more question. Let's see. Dear Dr. RPG, I was just fighting some gnolls with my boys. Sorry, this is all in capital letters, just for emphasis. I'm not going to scream this at you, but just assume it's being screamed. I was just fighting some gnolls with my boys, and I wanted to throw a dagger at a gnoll from where he couldn't see me because sneak attack, but when I threw the dagger, the gnoll saw it coming, and I didn't get a sneak attack, and that's bullshit because my boy was up in his face and like mad close, and there's no way he could have seen my dagger coming, but he did, and it missed, and I didn't get sneak attack, and that's bullshit. What did I do? Sincerely, sneak attack,
Well, you know what, Doc? Why don't you take this one first? I've got some thoughts, but I want to hear yours first.
if you want to get sneak attack, which I don't exactly know what you mean by that, friend, I would say attack while being sneaky. If they saw you, apparently you weren't being sneaky when you attacked, thus it's not a sneak attack. So be sneakier next time.
Sometimes there are some, I assume that you have a DM, an emblem, the DM emblem that you wear. All the best fighters have one, right? Well, some of them don't really allow for you to be sneaky and do a sneak attack. And my biggest recommendation is for you to throw that one into the sea and get a new one that allows you to do sneak attack, because sneak attack is fun. It's really fun. They don't know you're there, and then your knife is in their back. It's so good.
That sounds like Susie.
That's my advice. Yeah. Just get a new DM.
Throw your DM into the sea.
And get a new one. Yeah.
I can't think of a better place for us to begin signing off. That is the most solid piece of advice that I think that we could give you today. Was there anything that you would like to add before we start saying our goodbye, Susie?
No, I mean, just the evergreen piece of advice that we've discovered today is just fuck it all into the sea. All of it.
Chuck it all into the sea.
It's all there.
Well, Shintri, it has been an absolute pleasure plucking you from your moment in time and bringing you here. Is there anything that you'd like to tell the millions of listeners that we have throughout the multiverse?
Oh, just, come to the Loaded Pistol. Don't bother me. Get a drink. And then bother someone else. I did leave in the middle of a sleep spell, so we're going to find out what that does. I'm concerned a little bit. I got halfway through before I came here. So,
so you were casting and then I plucked you from your time.
Yeah, I got about halfway through that bad boy. Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. You know what? Good luck. It should be fine.
I think it's gonna be fun.
You'll be all right. Yeah. So you know what? Thank you, Shintri. It was lovely to have you. I would love to have you again if you make it. So, you're gonna make it. And I would just like to give one last shout out to our sponsors. And this sponsor, who's helped us in creating such a wonderful and elaborate show that's going to be helping hundreds and millions, is Peter Pan Falafel Land. Please come down to Peter Pan. It'll leave you full of happy thoughts. They'll leave you flying. Some of the falafels might make you a little bit windy, but don't worry, just peter on down and get your snacks. It'll be fantastic. So with that, thank you, Shintri. Lovely, as always, working with you, Susie. I know nothing about what you did, And I believe that's going to be it for us here today. I hope you all had a wonderful time, and I hope you learned a lot.
One last thing, Doc, before we sign off for today. If you have a question for the Doc yourself, please head on over to our other portal, otherwise known as the Encounter Roleplay Discord, and leave your question there either in text or voice format. We highly recommend sending in an actual call to us, as we love them very much.
We have the capability now. It's fantastic.
All right, so that is the end of this week's Dr. RPG, I believe.
Yep. And just a quick OOC. Again, everything that was taken in today goes to Black Girls Code. So thank you all very much for that. It really, truly does mean a lot. Have a great day.
All right, before we do go, Lou, let's just say where we can find each other on the internet, right?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Yeah, forget that bit. Yeah, all right. Now we're all out of character. We're all back to being ourselves. So
I don't know who I am anymore. No.
Thank you for joining us for today. It's been a wonderful time having you. Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you working on right now?
Yes, Super Dylan is where you can find me everywhere on the internet. I just released the Neverland setting. It is a full playable setting using 5th edition rules, but it is full of lore. You could pretty much adapt it to anything, complete with an adventure and stat blocks for all your favorite NPCs from the Neverland universe. So that is what I have done. Otherwise, right now, I'm gearing up for a couple more fundraisers, but that's all I've got in the bucket right now, so that's it.
Sweet. Thank you very much for joining us once again. And Noir, my good friend, how you doing, and where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me here every other Monday. That's always a good time. You can find me on Tuesdays at TPK RPG, where I play in their Harper's game. Wednesday at Last HP Hero, Curse of Straub, or beating him up. Thursdays over at Valjarnith and Chromatic Chimera, and Sundays with Honey and Honey, and we're doing a Call of Cthulhu game. Oh God, words.
Thank you very much, and please be sure to check out all the other projects that Noir and Diana are working on. They're fantastic and well worth your time. As for me, I'm Susie, otherwise known as Susanna Grace. You'll find me here tomorrow on Encounter Roleplay at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is 7 p.m. in the UK, the old country where I'm from, for Pendragon's Parish, which is our medieval sort of Nope, it's not. It's Arthurian Call of Cthulhu. We got zombies and stuff. It's kicking off. It's cold, which is nice for the summer months. Otherwise, you can find me on twitch.tv/follow Black Cats on Thursdays, and my own Twitch channel, which is just my name, which is Susanna Grace. So make sure to do that. Otherwise, as well, make sure to follow Encounter Roleplay if you haven't already today. Hit up that Twitter and join our Discord so you can chat with us and send in your questions to the Doc.
Yes, it's fun. Join us. We're nice people for the most part.
Oh, way to sell it, Noir. Way to sell it. Hot damn. All right. Okay. I think we should just end. We should just kill this right now because cut it. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
He's gone wrong.
Past Charlie here to tell you about a few of our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds is our virtual tabletop of choice, providing us access to roles, tokens, maps, and more. You can try it today.